Hey guys, welcome to Cape and Cowl Cafe. I'm Nemo, and today I am happy to announce that we have recently hit 20,000 subscribers on the channel, which is just an insane number to me. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for supporting me over this past year and watching all my videos and just engaging with the stuff that I'm putting out, because I really do enjoy this. Like, this is my dream job. I get to do it now. Like, it's just insane. So thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Anyway, to celebrate the occasion, I am going to be answering some of the questions that you guys have for me. If you guys enjoy the video at any point today, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. But let's hop right in. Alright, first up, Thunder asks, is your name really Nemo? You don't have to share your real name. Obviously, I'm not going to share my real name with you guys, but it's not Nemo. I explained this a while ago in the first Q&A video, but I have a larger audience now. There's more of you. Not everyone knows the story, so I'll explain it again. I got the nickname Nemo in middle school. It's because of the palsy that I have in my right arm, so it's kind of like my lucky fin. So yes, it's after the fish, and that's why I also have the black and orange color scheme with my little bat Nemo character and all that. My right arm and hand is a little shorter, a little smaller than my left one, and I lack, some of the fine motor skills that let you do things like tying your shoes, doing buttons, like really small things like that, but I can still play guitar, I build with Legos, I use a controller. Doesn't really stop me from doing anything. What is an underutilized Batman gadget you think we should see more of in media? I actually really like it when Batman has more analog detective gadgets like lockpicks and stuff like that. He just uses regular old flashlights. I think Batman has gotten way too reliant on like futuristic tech nowadays. I'm also not a huge fan of the detective mode reconstruction scenes from the Arkham series. Like I prefer Batman to work all of this stuff out in his head. It shows off his intelligence way more, in my opinion. What are your ideal expectations for the DCU Batman utility belt? Infinite pockets or unrealistically stocked? I think the perfect belt for Batman is kind of a mixture of everything, because he has a wide variety of gadgets that come in all different kinds of shapes and sizes. Like, not all of his pouches are going to fit like every single type of gadgets. Like there's going to be big pouches, but then there's going to be, like capsules for smoke bombs and stuff like that. And I don't even think the batarangs would be in a pouch. Like, with how fast he's like quick firing them from his belt, I think they would just be like magnetically attached to the back or something. I don't know. What channel or YouTuber inspired you to make or continue making content? That would have to be, some classic channels like Variant Comics with Eris Quinones. Like, I've been watching him since I was like 12 years old. And then we have more recent channels like the Comic Lads or Troyo Boyo 17. Like, I've been watching a bunch of these people, and I wouldn't say that it's like any one channel. It's just I really wanted to get involved in the comic book community online and just start, sharing my opinion, because I always see these tier lists and ranking videos, and I'm like, you know what? I have pretty strong opinions about all of these things. Why don't I just do that? But honestly, the desire to start making content mostly stemmed from boredom, because I would, sit down to eat something. I would try to queue up a YouTube video, and there's just nothing good, But back in the golden days of YouTube, there was always a top 10 list out there for you to watch, like best Batman suits, best Superman movies, like, there was always something entertaining. And so I just want to kind of try to bring some of those videos back, because they're not really as popular anymore, and I don't understand why. If you could have any hero or villain's power, what would it be? Now, if I'm being honest, like, if I'm thinking of a realistic power that would make my life a lot easier, I would probably have to say like tactile teleportation. You have to specify tactile, because if you don't, then you're going to teleport everywhere naked. But anyway, like most people would say like, oh, I just want to be Superman. And that makes sense. And I think I would pick Superman just because flying sounds so fun. But if I have to pick a power that's going to improve my day-to-day life, like I'm still having to live my current life just with superpowers, I would say teleportation, because you don't have to like pay for gas, you don't have to pay for airplane tickets. You can just, it's also a substitute for super strength, because you can just touch something big and then teleport it, So it's kind of the perfect superpower. What is your guilty pleasure sci-fi superhero movie you would prefer people didn't know you liked? Well, I'm not like really ashamed of this one, but I really like the movie Jumper, and it's just because I love teleportation as an ability. I don't know, like I haven't seen the movie in so long, so I don't even know if it's still good or not, but I like that one. How did you come up with the name Cape and Cowl Cafe? Well, I was actually on the phone with my dad while I was creating the name of the channel. It was originally called Nemo Thoughts, but then I deleted that and I got rid of all those old videos because I wanted to start fresh. And I know I wanted it to be something like themed after Batman because he's my favorite character and I was most likely going to talk about him the most. And I wanted a channel name that was gonna like stick in people's minds, you know, one that had a good ring to it. And I knew that Cape and Cowl was gonna be part of the name, but the last part kind of took us a while to settle on. Like we had different ideas like the Cape and Cowl Archives, the Cape and Cowl Code, Cape and Cowl Network, and ultimately we ended up going with Cape and Cowl Cafe because, you know, cafes are a place where people hang out, it's very casual, and I wanted to have that same vibe for my channel. Like instead of just another channel or a website, I wanted it to feel like a place where people could come and hang out, and it also matched, you know, the casual nature of some of my unscripted videos, so Cape and Cowl Cafe was the name. What is your Mount Rushmore of favorite superheroes of any genre? It's gonna be pretty basic. I really like Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, and Dick Grayson. Whether he's Robin or Nightwing, I don't care. I just like Dick Grayson. So those four would have to be my personal Mount Rushmore. I know it's basic, you know, they're really popular, but there's a reason they're really popular, right? They're the best. If you were the boss, how would you change the state of Spider-Man to do the iconic characters justice? If it were up to me, I would just reboot the whole universe. Like, I think Marvel is really suffering in the comics department, especially with Spider-Man, and DC's just blowing them out of the water, so I really think they could use some kind of new 52 or like rebirth, you know, reboot where we just start from scratch and these characters kind of have their normal histories that we all know and love, but then just kind of, you know, update their lives a little bit. I don't know. Either that or I just retcon one more day and then we just continue on from the JMS run like normal. Like just erase everything after one more day. I don't know. I'm probably not the best person to ask this question. What is your favorite part about running a superhero channel? I mean, I get to do all of the things that I love, like reading comic books, playing video games, watching movies, but it's my job. Like that easily is the best part. But also interacting with you guys. Like growing up, I didn't have a ton of friends that were into comic books the same way I was. Like I had one or two, but you know, it wasn't the same, you know, but now I have a massive community of people that I can just talk to and geek out about Batman and Spider-Man and whatever else is going on. It is just awesome and it's been completely life-changing. By the way, if you would like to talk comic books with me, I have a Discord server and you should go join it. Aside from subscriber goals, what are your personal goals inside and outside of YouTube? Now, when it comes to YouTube, like, yeah, you could just say, oh, I want 100K subscribers because that's what everyone wants. But specifically, I would like to get to a point where I can release like 1 or 2 really good hour-long videos a month and just live off of that. Because right now, I'm kind of being forced to release like 2 a week, and it's fun, you know, but I really want to put more effort into each of these videos so that they're higher quality for you guys, you know? So I have no idea how I'm going to achieve that, but I'd probably say that's one of my goals. What is your favorite piece of superhero media? It can be a show, movie, game, or comic. Right now, I'd probably say the Batman 2004, and like this is an opinion that changes all the time, okay? Like I have a different favorite thing every month, but right now, in this very moment, it's the Batman 2004. Just absolute cinema. And by the way, I do care about your list. This one's peak. What are your top 3 Lego sets you've ever received growing up and why? It can be based on brick count, what was in the set, or memories associated with it. One of the sets I remember the most as a kid was this like Lego Battle of Hoth battle pack. It came with, you know, Han in the blue parka and a tauntaun and like this, you know, rebel turret thing. I also remember when the Ben 10 Bionicles came out for the Alien Swarm movie. That was crazy. But the Lego set that had like the biggest impact on me would have to be this Lego Ninjago Zane Dragon set. So when I was a kid, I was kind of having a rough time in school. I was just diagnosed with ADHD. Like I was, you know, having a hard time socially, academically, all of that. So my parents put me into therapy, which I absolutely hated. But if I stuck with it and I achieved, you know, like some of my personal goals, they would get me a Lego set. And that is the Lego set that I earned. And it just felt different, you know? Like that was the first time that I felt like I really earned something by doing something difficult and just going beyond my limits. So I don't know, that was a cool one. Were you always this comfortable openly discussing your interest/hobby of comic books and superheroes? If not, what made you open up about it? Me personally, I've been a fan of the space since I was a kid, but during my teen years, I was a bit embarrassed by it, and wasn't till college that I openly embraced my nerdy side again. No, I wasn't always open about it. Like I said, I didn't really have that many friends that were into it at the same level that I was, and it wasn't until I was like almost done with high school that, you know, superhero movies were getting really, really popular again, especially with the MCU and like, you know, Infinity War and Endgame and all that. And, you know, nowadays, everyone's into comic books. Everyone's into that stuff, you know? We're surrounded by LARPers who used to make fun of us. So, I don't know. Don't be ashamed by it. You're the cool one. Everyone else who, you know, caught up, they're lame. By the way, that's a fire username. Did you draw your profile picture? And if not, who did? It was actually a guy named Bat on my Discord server. That's his name. Eddie is really good. If you play Marvel Rivals, who do you main? I do play Rivals, and I main Spider-Man and Moon Knight. I'm kind of a cheap guy, all right? Like, I'm sorry. I just like the way that Moon Knight's projectiles, you know, the little sounds they make, it just tickles my brain, you know, the little it just, I don't know, all right? I'm purely playing him for selfish reasons, you know? I'm only playing him not because I want the team to win, but because the little sound effects, just, they make me feel good, you know? Can I make you a Spider Nemo Sona? Yes, you can, and if you want to send it to me, you can send it to Cape and Cowl Cafe submissions@gmail.com. Thank you. Favorite horror movie / character? I haven't really seen a ton of horror movies recently, mostly because they scare my wife, but I don't know. I liked the Conjuring movies. I thought those were pretty good. Will you ever do a face reveal? Why or why not? I'm a huge fan of your videos, by the way. Thank you. I really appreciate that. When it comes to the face reveal, I don't know, like, maybe, but I'm having a mask made for me, which I'll probably be wearing on stream and maybe in some videos, so kind of a half face reveal for you, so yeah, there you go. Here's the question everyone actually wants to know the answer to. Is Nemo as handsome as he sounds? No, I am hideously scarred. Where do you get so many ideas from? Okay, but seriously, there's a video ideas channel in my Discord, and sometimes I also ask you guys, but also I just have a lot of stuff I want to talk about, so it's kind of from everywhere. When did you first get exposed to superheroes / Batman? Well, in my parents' first house when I was a very little kid, like 2 or 3, I remember there being a TV in my dad's office in the basement, and on that TV is where I first saw Batman Beyond. Now, I'm not sure if that was actually the first piece of superhero media that I ever saw, but it's the first one that I clearly remember. So yeah, ever since then, I've been absolutely obsessed. So thank you, Dad. It's your fault that I'm addicted to collecting little pieces of paper. Does pineapple belong on pizza? No, it doesn't, and you're a freak if you think it does. Rank all the Robins least favorite to favorite. Jason, Tim, Damian, Dick? Yeah, there we go. Now, if you're thinking about all of the Robins, that would have to be Jaro, Carrie Kelly, Stephanie Brown, Matt McGinnis, Jason, Tim, Damian, and Dick. Now, I know that there's way more than that, but I'm not gonna go into that. That would be a separate video, so there's your list, all right? What are your comic hot takes? All right, I think here is my biggest and most recent hot take. I don't like the oval on Batman's costume. Like, I don't like the yellow oval behind the symbol. I prefer it to be a circle. I think that looks way better. So think like the Batman Hush 2 suit or dark patterns. I don't know. Like, I know the oval's a classic, but it just doesn't look right to me. Like, it doesn't look clean. I just prefer it to be a circle that looks nice and neat. That's all. Also, The Dark Knight isn't the best Batman movie. What is your favorite anime? AOT, I'm basic. What was the first video game you really liked? I think the first video game that I remember really liking as a kid was Spider-Man 1 from the PS1. I don't even remember if I beat it or if I was good at it. I just like Spider-Man, and he was in a video game, and that was like a crazy thing to me at the time. I know that we have, way more advanced video games now, but I'm old enough now to where I can remember not being able to swing for more than 2 times without hitting the ground. Well, not the ground, because they couldn't render the ground. They actually had to cover the city in gas, and then you just fall. It was a whole thing. Anyway, moving on. Favorite and least favorite Batcave? Obviously, my least favorite Batcave is the BVS one. It just looks like a studio apartment. Like, there's nothing Batcave about it. There's no sauce. And then my favorite would have to be the 2004 Batcave, not because the layout is like really cool or anything. I just absolutely love the magnetic fire poles. I think those are so cool. Do you like James Bond, 007, or any spy-related media? Never really got into James Bond, but I love the Hitman games. Those are so fun. What's the correct way to cut toast? Trick question. You don't cut toast, you cut sandwiches. If you're just spreading butter on bread, you leave the bread alone. Don't cut it. Worst version of Batman? Now, you're probably expecting me to say someone like Ben Affleck, but no. The worst version of Batman ever is not a live-action Batman. It's a Batman from the comics, and that would have to be Batman from All-Star Batman and Robin by Frank Miller and Jim Lee. This guy is a terrible person, just an absolute and complete character assassination, alright? First up, he kidnaps Dick Grayson from the circus, not as Bruce Wayne, but as Batman, alright? He just chucks him in the Batmobile, drives him to the Batcave, and then refuses to properly feed him, telling him that he can go eat rats. Not only does he attempt to starve young Dick Grayson, but he also verbally and physically abuses the young Robin. Batman also does it with Black Canary next to a pile of burning corpses, which, they allegedly killed. Yeah, that's Batman, right? What is your favorite suit in LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight? Love your videos. Thank you. My favorite suit isn't in the game. My favorite suit is me, alright? We got Nemo in LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. This was modded by Charles Cardi. I don't know if it's, publicly available. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. I'll have to ask Charles about that. But anyway, I'm in the game. That's my favorite skin. Moving on. Would you rather have infinite bacon but no games, or games, unlimited games, but no games? I think you might be high. Why are you orange?
Why are you blue?
Because I'm Nemo. What editing software do you use for your videos? What's your recommendation for someone just starting out? Now, I might be exposing myself a little bit, but I am far from a professional YouTuber, all right? So I'm not using like Adobe or anything like that. That UI scares the hell out of me. I'm using CapCut because I'm kind of stupid and CapCut makes it easy for me. I don't care if it's a terrible app, It's what's accessible for me, so I use that. Do you have any advice for people trying to start a YouTube channel? Now, again, I'm not a professional. Like, I haven't been doing this very long, so don't take my word as gospel or anything, but the only advice that I would really have for people trying to start a YouTube channel is just make sure that you're passionate about what you're talking about, Because if you're not and you force yourself to make these videos, it's gonna feel like a chore and you're not gonna wanna do it. You're gonna burn out really quickly and you're not gonna be having any fun. But also, be consistent, all right? The algorithm loves you when you post more, so try to post at least once a week. And lastly, don't ever compare yourself to others or other people's videos or their YouTube channels. I was guilty of that for a while and it made me absolutely miserable. It's no fun, okay? Your videos are not gonna be like perfect just starting out, okay? But just try to improve them 1% every video. Just improve one little thing each time, and over time that'll build up and you'll just get better and better. That's my advice. All right, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it all, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button, and drop in the comments down below just something you love about Batman, your favorite thing about Batman. He's the reason we're all here, right? Anyway, thank you so much again for 20,000 subscribers. This is just absolutely insane. I can't believe it. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.